What's up, everybody? Welcome to Cracker Hunters. I'm Carolina Hitman.
I am Anubis.
And today, this is our first iteration of the Throwback. Yes, movie reviews.
It's about fucking time because I've been anticipating this since we even started this page. I mean, this is my all-time #1 favorite movie.
And what the Throwback movie reviews is going to be doing, what we're going to be doing in this segment.
We're going to do several.
No, we're going to do a lot of them. Yeah. I mean, this is the first one.
I said several.
Okay, well, fair enough. But what we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking movies that have come out a long time ago. And by a long time ago for us, it's like the 70s, 60s, 80s, 90s, somewhere around those.
I wouldn't say 80s would be a long time ago for us because...
Well, it's true. We grew up
anyway, yeah. Well, you did. I grew up in the 90s.
It's still a throwback, though.
Right.
It's still a throwback. So that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be reviewing movies from those time periods. So the first movie we're going to review.
All right, I have to introduce this one. This one here is my all-time #1 favorite movie. I mean, if I'm scrolling, on DirecTV or whatever, and I see this movie, I'm going to sit there and I'm going to watch the whole thing. And what it is The Exorcist.
One of the greatest horror movies of all time.
Now, it came out in 1973.
And
it was.
I'll let you start it off because you're a lot more experienced with this one. I love this movie too, but I know you're a little bit more in love with it than I am.
All right. Well, this one, the reason why it's my all-time favorite is because of such a controversy it had. I mean, it has more of a controversy than The Omen, which also came out in the 70s in 1976. But we're not talking about that today. What we're going to talk about is The Exorcist. And what it was based off actual events, and the book it was based off a book written by William Peter Blatty, and I haven't personally read the book, which
me neither.
That's on my next
mine too. I got it on my wish list on Amazon.
Oh, I could just go to Barnes, or I can go to the bookstore and buy it. That's what I'm going to do, and. The whole thing about The Exorcist, I think, that really intrigues me is because it feels like it's one of the first ones that really, really hits you, and it hits you hard with demon possession. And personally, I love possession films. And I don't know, what do you think?
I'm more of a slasher guy. No, the 80s. I'm more of an 80s guy, so slashers.
Now, for me, I think there's nothing more terrifying than somebody literally taking your body over. And not just somebody, not even a person. It's an actual fucking demon. That would scare the hell out of me. Now, I don't know if it could happen or if it did happen. We're all going by word of mouth on this one.
Right. Right.
Hey, do you think it could happen?
Well, I think so. But that's just my personal beliefs. But I do think it can happen.
And I think that's also another thing that movie pushes is literally it's because the main characters, you got Reagan and her mother, who is an actress. Ellen.
I think it is
Chris
Ellen. Yeah, Ellen Burstyn.
Yeah,
it's Chris McNeil. That's her mom. That's the mom.
Yeah, Chris McNeil. She's the character. And her mother is atheist. And, in the 70s, that was pretty controversial. Now, she's atheist, she's an actress, she's famous. Now, and, you take this and you're pushing this religion onto somebody who is completely atheist. Atheism is the belief in nothing. Now, when you do that, I feel like that's really kind of pushing the bar on anything. I mean, even now, to this day, we don't have movies that push as far as The Exorcist did.
Well, and for me, that's one of the things I loved about The Exorcist is that the fact that it was like one of the first. It's hard to really be creative.
It's hard to beat the original.
Yeah, and it's not even just that. It's just hard to be creative when a lot of the ideas that it had in that movie. It's hard to really be creative when it handled a lot of things that back then, like you said, were controversial.
Yeah.
I mean, today,
atheism was controversial back then.
Right. Today, it's not really that controversial.
Yeah, I mean today, nowadays, it's open book, everything. You know, it doesn't really matter as long as, you know, your personal thing is your own thing. That's
Right.
cool. Which, I mean, that's cool. But we're talking about 1973. You know, this one pushed the bar so far to where it put tits and a cock onto a Virgin Mary statue. You know, in a Catholic church. I mean, I think that would be even controversial today.
Well, that's true. I think it would be too. It'd be
Yeah.
more. Well, I think more so today, the way society is going right now. You know, but yeah, it'd be more so controversial today.
And I mean, it did. It really did that, and it was. Yeah, the whole. And I also another thing. I want to talk about the actors because Linda Blair, I think,
did an amazing job.
I think she set the bar for the kids that we have nowadays that are acting.
Yes.
Because I can't think, even after that movie, I can't think of a kid that did better. Can you?
I can't, like, especially in a horror movie like that, being the main focus, being one of the main actors in that movie. I can't think of a single child actor that can really portray, demon possession and just the way she portrayed it. I don't think there's really a child actor right now that I can really name that can really portray demon possession.
Well,
like she did.
I can't name her, but I'll give a really close second. It's the girl from Ouija, Origins of Evil.
Oh, really, man? Seriously?
The second one. I think she did a good job. I mean, as a child actor.
But again, you're comparing it to Linda Blair when she was.
Well, I'm not saying she did better. I'm just saying, you know, that's one I can compare her to. Now, okay, let's talk about the plot of the story.
So basically, we have this girl, Linda Blair, and I think her character's name is Reagan. Yes, her character's name is Reagan. So basically, she's fooling around with a Ouija board and conjures up something that she should not have and end up getting possessed.
Which the name of the demon, the name the demon took was Captain Howdy.
Which is a weird name for a
It's
demon
so
to
awesome. Dude, I mean,
Captain Howdy?
It sounds innocent, kind of.
It does. I mean,
if you were going to be
I
something
swear.
pure evil, you would want it to be
Captain Howdy.
I mean, if I was going to be a demon and take over, I would want to make some kind of like Captain Kangaroo or some shit like that.
That doesn't sound demonic or horrifying at all.
That's the point.
Well, and honestly, and I can see that, yeah, because how are you going to trick a child if you don't really, I guess, portray yourself as something friendly? Hell, look at Pennywise. That's
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Pennywise, you know, friendly,
right.
The dancing clown.
Right.
And, you know, I mean, if a kid sees Azazel, you know.
Right, that's something they can't even hardly pronounce. That's going to be a warning sign for them.
I don't know about all that.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna,
But yeah, so she starts messing with a Ouija board and ends up getting possessed. And man, one of the scenes I love in this movie is when her mom's having that dinner. And
she pisses all over the floor.
And in the special edition, which we have, like I said, and
the director's cut.
Yeah, the director's cut. Yes, the director's cut actually has her walking down.
No, that was later on when she was full on possessed.
Well, okay, got you.
Now,
so I'm getting ahead of myself.
But yeah, you're getting a little ahead. But the director's cut did have a little extra things in even before she was possessed. Like say the mother was looking around the corner walking through the house because she heard something funny, and you know she noticed that Reagan's room was a little cold. What would happen in like a corner that's been blacked out, it'll show a demon face. I mean, it would pop it up like kind of like a subliminal message, and that's what I thought was really interesting. I mean, you really had to be paying attention to that scene, and it wasn't a jump scare or anything like that. They didn't do that. That's also another thing
I appreciated too. Yes, no jump scares.
Things that I loved about that movie. They didn't have to use jump scares. The movie itself was scary by itself.
And that was a slow burn of a movie too. All the stuff didn't happen right away. It was pretty slow burn.
It was a slow burner, but they kept you interested.
And I agree.
Because you know they bring in the priest at the very beginning. You know, he's doing an archaeological excavation. You know, and you know that sets the tone. And they find a demon little statue. What was it?
We got our notes here. That's why we're fact checking.
We got notes. So
yeah, we didn't want to be wrong.
Oh, he was in Iraq, and he found the demon little statue of Zezu. And that sets the tone. That's at the very beginning. It sets the tone for the whole movie. And I think, because you realize that this guy, he has some significance. And we'll skip forward. We'll go to the actual story of Reagan. Reagan, she was a fatherless child. I don't know what happened to her dad. I can't remember if they explained that or not. And her mother was a well-known actress in LA. So she's pretty much by herself all the time. And, they're wealthy. Well, they're maybe not wealthy, but well off.
Yeah.
And she's got a lot of time by herself. So, what is a kid going to do when they're by themselves?
Yeah, let's fuck around with a Ouija board.
Yeah.
It's there.
It's there.
Which that brings the question, why the hell was it there in the first place?
Well,
what was her mom doing? Who was she talking to?
Yeah, but her mom's atheist, so she didn't believe in any of that.
Well, why was the Ouija board in there? For me, that was a good question. Is like, okay, if her mom's atheist, why does she have a Ouija board?
I think it's more along the lines of like, all right, I want to try it out. Kind of tempt the spirits, and if they don't fucking do that.
Yeah, that's how that's usually how people fuck stuff up. Yeah.
And but you forget that a child's mind is a little different than adults. They're more susceptible. Which I think that's really the main point is your children are more susceptible to evil than you realize.
Right.
Now, Linda Blair as the actor who played Reagan. How do you think she did?
I think she did a wonderful job. Doing the things that she was asked to do, because
the controversial things like masturbating with a crucifix.
Right.
That could not have been easy for her.
I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall in that conversation with her parents. That would have been a weird one. Yeah, that's an interesting conversation. Yeah, we want your daughter to a cross up her vagina. Yeah, I'd love to have been a parents that day.
Or not even have to say that and just act like.
Yeah, act like. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I know personally, I'd be like, no.
Yeah.
No, we're backing out of this. No, you find somebody else.
And that's one of the dangers I don't like about child actors.
Yeah.
But that's a discussion I want to have for a different topic.
Right, that's a good discussion.
Yeah, it is. We'll have that for a different topic.
And The Exorcist for me, I think it pushes every little limit. And if you haven't seen it by now,
damn it, you need to see it.
Yeah.
And for me, I'm sorry, I mean to cut you off. Go ahead. Continue.
No, actually, I was lost.
Okay. I'm throwing a life preserver out there. But for me, what I really love about this movie, and this is like that golden age between the 70s and 80s, are the practical effects. Like the effects, like when I got told Derek, I thought, because I wasn't sure exactly when the movie came out, I thought it came out in the 80s. I was not aware that this movie came out in 1973, and the special effects they had back then, man, were amazing.
No, yeah, I don't know if you would call them special effects. I would say you would just call them practical effects.
Well, practical effects, yeah, right, because the special effects is what we call this garbage that's out now. But the practical effects they use, as far as, man, the twisting head.
Oh, the spinning head.
Yeah,
you mean the spinning head.
Well, spinning, twisting, whatever you want to call it.
Hell, her doing the over and over sit-ups. God,
right.
If you walk in and you see your kid doing that, I would freak the fuck out.
I'm smack the shit out of him while I do it.
Stop him. I'm trying to pull him down and be like, stop.
But yeah, that's just for me, man. One of the things that really hit home for me is just the practical effects. Because I'm a big horror fan, and I don't like the special effects they have now. I'm more of an 80s guy, so I love the practical effects.
Yeah.
And they use those to an amazing degree in that movie.
And in the Exorcist, there's actually a scene where one of the priests, or no, it wasn't the priest, it was her mother, came up and lifted up her nightgown and saw her stomach, and on her stomach it imprinted "Help Me."
Right.
And I don't know. I don't know. I didn't watch the special features because special features kind of ruined it for me.
Right.
And I don't know how they did that or how they would even think on how to do it. It was amazing.
Yeah, I agree, man. That's what I'm saying.
And I watched this in the 90s. And it was amazing.
And another thing, I love the
levitation of the furniture.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
They did, and the breath, the coldness.
Right, even the levitation of her. Well, they dropped the temperature in that room quite a bit.
Oh, I'm sure they had to.
Yeah. But
the pea suit.
Yeah, the pea suit. Ugh.
Yeah, you can't. If you're talking about Exorcist, you can't leave out the pea soup.
When we're talking about the pea soup, we're talking about the vomit scene.
Yes.
So anybody who hasn't seen it, yeah, just be prepared. It's
Oh, I mean, it's projectile.
Yeah.
Literally, it is pea soup that she's projectile vomiting.
And like I said, man, this movie just left such a lasting effect on the industry, man. It took everybody off guard.
I think it set the standard for horror movies. I'm not talking about slasher films or anything like that, because slasher films are real famous for jump scares.
Yes.
And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. But in the horror industry, I think this one leaves a very lasting effect on the creep out value.
Yes. Especially like hearing some of the things that she's saying as a child.
Oh yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's the creep out factor is just way up there.
Oh, talking to priests, saying, talking about their parents, speaking in different languages, speaking backwards.
Right.
And, all that stuff originated with The Exorcist. And it's just one of those it's a forerunner is what it is. It set the standard. And I give that director, if he was still with us, I would give him the thumbs up, and I wish he would have made more movies.
Yeah, because if the Exorcist,
he made 2 that were of note.
What was the second one?
I would have to.
Oh shit, Derek, you can't bring up the second one and not know what the fuck it is.
I haven't seen it.
Okay, well I haven't.
One of my coworkers mentioned it to me, and I haven't seen it. And it sound and to the director, he said that it was his actual favorite over The Exorcist.
That must be a good ass movie.
Yeah, I know. But what it was is it came out at the same time as Star Wars. So.
Oh well.
So he got screwed.
He did. But I just love this movie, man, because like I said, as a horror fan, man, to me it's easily top 5 all-time horror movies of all time. It's easily that high.
And we're comparing this to shit that we have now, which a lot of it is shit. And even in the 80s, we're comparing it to, because you got icons, but you're never gonna have a Reagan.
No, and that's a damn good point, man. That's actually a really good point.
You're never gonna have another Reagan.
Yeah, you never will, because I've not seen anyone even come close to replicating her performance in that movie.
And we're talking about Robert Englund, Gunnar Thompson, Kane Hodder. Or I don't know, who even played Michael Myers? I don't know. It doesn't matter. They're not going to be as near as good as Linda Blair did in The Exorcist. I think she set the standard for the horror icon.
Yes. That's actually a pretty good point. I think I can actually agree with that. Because I can't really think of any besides Nosferatu and things like that. But we're not talking about going that far back. We're talking about 70s up. Because I think that's when the icon itself started really coming about.
Right.
This the icon. And I think honestly I can agree that she probably set the standard for it as young as she was. That movie, man. It's.
And honestly, I think that ruined her career.
I don't remember her in anything else. She was in
The Exorcist 2, The Heretic.
Yeah.
But no, you can't do that.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I can.
No, you can't. Because, you got a Freddy Krueger statue right behind.
That ain't got nothing to do with The Heretic. That ain't got shit to do with that.
But everything after 3 was fucking.
Everything after the first one. I'm sorry. After the first, I'm
talking about Nightmare on Elm Street. Everything after the third one was fucking garbage.
I'll agree.
Okay.
Except for New Nightmare.
Okay. Well, we'll get that because it's got Wes Craven.
Yes. But anyways, another thing I don't think many people talk about as far as that movie is, far as the mother's character, like going through what she went through, like probably not having anyone believe her
now
when she's explaining this.
That one right there has been destroyed. That thought that you just brought up has been destroyed last year. It was destroyed last year.
What do you mean?
With the TV show of The Exorcist.
First of all,
wait. Let me finish. The reason why I'm saying the TV show destroyed it because the mother used that to make millions.
First of all, I'm not going by some. This is just me, in my opinion. I'm going by the actual movie because the movie she did not do that.
No.
So we're not talking about the show.
It was actually. Well, I'm just pointing that out.
Right, and I haven't watched it, and I don't have any intent on watching it.
And I mean,
but.
You're right, though. I mean, I understand where you're coming from. The mother, she's going through all that, and she can't do anything.
Right, because as a parent,
there's nothing she can do.
Right, as a parent, how do you convince other people to believe you, especially people who may not even believe in God, hell, demons, or anything like that? How do you convince them that your daughter is possessed? How do you convince them of that when because honestly, she's doing all this stuff to herself.
No. Well, if you really think about it, she was trying to convince herself because she went through every single step that she could.
You just made me remember the needle scene.
Yeah, she went.
I have a horrible fear of needles.
It was a spinal tap. What it was, but she went through every single medical procedure you could go through. And all she had left was religion. That was the literal last resort for her.
Yeah, and especially as for atheists, man, it's gotta be hard to believe.
Oh, dude, I mean, it's
your daughter's possessed. You don't even believe in God.
Dude, it just blew her fucking mind.
And that's like I said, that's one of the things I don't think people talk about enough is the predicament the mother or any parent would be in a situation like that. Just having to try and convince someone, people who may not even believe in religion at all, having to have to try to convince them that your daughter's possessed with the demon.
I mean, not only just that. It's like miracles. Everybody believes in miracles, but nobody really is like, oh, well, you mentioned Lucifer. Oh, well, no,
that's true.
You're lying.
Yeah,
you're full of shit. Even though they may consider themselves a full-fledged Christian or Catholic. It doesn't matter. They're going to say, "Nah, you're full of shit."
Right? Yeah, because that's actually your good point. That brings up a good point because a lot of Christians or a lot of religious people probably wouldn't even believe if you said your daughter was possessed.
Yeah,
they probably say you're using it as an excuse.
Yeah, you're full of shit. What it is like schizophrenia or epilepsy or some shit like that.
Right. Exactly.
And you're like, dude, I have had that checked out. That's not what it fucking is. I mean, my kid never knew Aramaic. My kid never knew Latin.
Or talking backwards.
Yeah, my kid can't talk backwards.
Right.
But this one, I don't get it.
Yeah, that's for me. Like I said, it's got to be a traumatic experience for a parent alone.
Oh yeah.
I mean, yeah.
All right. Well, what would you give this as a rating?
If this movie came out today, and I watched it for the first time, I'd easily give this movie a full price. Easily give this movie just for the fact of the slow burn. Like, it's a slow burn, but it keeps you interested the entire time because you're trying to figure out what's going on. And then when it finally hits...
Not even just trying to figure out. I mean, they're building up every character.
And that's a good thing. Yeah, that's a good point because there's a lot of character development in this movie.
Yeah. And, you got the priest, the two priests.
The two priests, yes.
The mother, Reagan.
Everybody gets...
everybody around.
Yes, gets an amount of time to really show their character.
Everybody feels that demon's presence.
Yes,
so
that's true.
You would give it a full price.
Oh, easily a full price.
Or is it like a full price with a fucking popcorn meal deal?
I'm telling you, I would. Because like I said, me being a horror fan, I appreciate movies like that. That focuses on story, not doing the cheap jump scares, but really builds up a story.
It scares you.
Yes, and for me, when they do the slow burn, it makes the final reveal or the final chapter of that movie hit even more harder because you've been waiting to see, okay, what's going to happen, and then it happens.
Yeah.
And to me, a movie like that hits harder than a movie filled with jump scares, trying to just cheap out on scaring the audience. And I think that's why I love this movie that much.
Now, for me, my rating, I would say it's an acceptable substitute for sex. I give it that high of a rating because that's my all-time favorite movie. And the reason why, kind of like Carolina Hitman said, the build-up, not only the build-up, but the character development. And then for me, I think the controversy of the movie in general, especially for the time that it came out. I think that really sets the bar a little bit higher than anything that comes out nowadays.
Yes.
Because nowadays you don't have controversy. You know, I mean,
Well, you do, but
mean,
it's for the most minute things. Things that shouldn't even be a controversy.
Actually, no, dude, nothing's controversial anymore. I mean, you can go up to anybody and be like, well, I'm a Satanist. And they'd be like, well, that's cool.
Okay, I get what you're saying now. Okay, yeah, you're right.
I'm talking, when it comes to controversy, I mean, that, at the time it came out in 1973, that had to have been extremely controversial. And I'll tell you what, that would be, if I had a time machine, honestly, that would be a point in time where I would want to go back and see that opening day. I would be there opening day, front row, or mid row, however the theater was set up back then.
Yeah.
A drive-in.
Yeah.
A drive-in theater.
Man, a drive-in would be amazing with that movie.
I wouldn't even be paying attention to my wife. I'd be like, no, I'm watching this. I've seen it 100 times. I'm back in time. This is opening day. This is a historic date for me. So leave me alone.
Yeah, I would have loved to seen the audience reactions to a movie like this.
Yes.
I would have loved, because like you said,
that would have been
back in the 70s. This was a totally different time than now.
Like I said, tits and a cock on Mary's statue.
Yeah, and that's a big no-no.
Yeah, that's even a big no-no today.
Yeah. So imagine 30 or 40 years ago how much of a big no-no that would be. I would have loved to have seen the audience reactions to this movie.
47 years ago.
Yes. Man. Has it really been that long?
It really has.
Wow. And that's and so what before I continue, what would be your rate? You said suitable,
acceptable, which I have used.
Oh, okay. But
acceptable substitute, which I have used this movie for that.
I'm not gonna. I can't comment on that. We're gonna leave that alone right now.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
What it was?
But Anubis'
she had a headache.
Anubis' comments are his and his alone, and do not represent that clause.
No, what it was she had a headache.
Okay. But see, now you made me forget what I was going with. Then see if you let me go with it. Fuck it.
Go ahead. Go with the flow.
But yeah, go with the flow. But anyways. Now I can't even remember what I was going to talk about. Thanks, Anubis. Thank you.
No, we're at the closing.
We're at the closing. I was going to go something else, but his ass made me forget.
Well, that's all right.
But yeah,
we can't do no hour video anymore.
But that's true. But we appreciate you for joining us.
Please subscribe, like, send comments, do something. Come on, man. Throw us a bone.
Yes, like this a bone. Yes. But we appreciate you joining us. Join us next time. When our next movie that we're doing a throwback review for will be Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds. Yes.
I've seen that in 3D, by the way.
I love that movie.
MGM Studios.
Ooh, but that's the next throwback review we're going to be doing. Join us next time on Throwback Reviews. This is Kraken Hunters, Carolina Hitman, Anubis. See you next time. Peace.